how are you? Ooh, the weather is definitely stay-in weather today, isn't it? Here, I'll take your coat and boots and tuck them right near the fire. Here's your favorite chair. And I've got some hot cinnamon rolls fresh from the oven with a hot cup of tea. And don't worry, the cinnamon rolls have lots of icing. Cream for your tea? Perfect. All right, where were we? Yes. Alice and the animals have dried off after the race. And Alice had just been presented with a thimble that she already owned. Alice thought the whole thing very absurd, but they all looked so grave that she did not dare to laugh, and, as she could not think of anything to say, she simply bowed and took the thimble, looking as solemn as she could. The next thing was to eat the confit. This caused some noise and confusion, as the large birds complained that they could not taste theirs, and the small ones choked and had to be patted on the back. However, it was over at last, and they sat down again in a ring, and begged Mouse to tell them something more. "You promised to tell me your history, you know," said Alice, "and why it is you hate, C and D," she added in a whisper, half afraid that it would be offended again. "Mine is a long and a sad tale," said the mouse, turning to Alice and sighing. "It is a long tale, certainly," said Alice, looking down with wonder at the mouse's tail. "But why do you call it sad?" And she kept on puzzling about it while the mouse was speaking, so that her idea of the tale was something like this. "Fury said to a mouse that he met in a house, 'Let us both go to the law. I will prosecute you. Come, I'll take no denial. We must have a trial. For really this morning I've nothing to do.' Said the mouse to the cur, 'Such a trial, dear sir, with no jury or judge, would be wasting our breath.' 'I'll be judge, I'll be jury,' said cunning old Fury. 'I'll try the whole cause and condemn you to death.'" "You are not attending," said the mouse to Alice severely. "What are you thinking of?" "I beg your pardon," said Alice very humbly. "You had got to the fifth bend, I think?" "I had not," cried the mouse angrily. "A knot," said Alice, always ready to make herself useful and looking anxiously about her. "Oh, do let me help you undo it." "I shall do nothing of the sort," said the mouse, getting up and walking away. "You insult me by talking such nonsense." "I didn't mean it," pleaded poor Alice, "but you're so easily offended, you know." The mouse only growled in reply. "Please come back and finish your story," Alice called after it, and the others all joined in chorus. "Yes, please do." But the mouse only shook its head impatiently and walked a little quicker. "What a pity it wouldn't stay," sighed the Lory, as soon as it was quite out of sight, and an old crab took the opportunity of saying to her daughter, "Ah, my dear, let this be a lesson to you never to lose your temper." "Hold your tongue, Ma," said the young crab a little snappishly. "You're enough to try the patience of an oyster." "I wish I had our Dinah here, I know I do," said Alice aloud, addressing nobody in particular. "She'd soon fetch it back." "And who is Dinah, if I might venture to ask the question?" said the Lory. Alice replied eagerly, for she was always ready to talk about her pet. "Dinah's our cat, and she's such a capital one for catching mice you can't think. And oh, I wish you could see her after the birds. Why, she'll eat a little bird as soon as look at it." This speech caused a remarkable sensation among the party. Some of the birds hurried off at once. One old magpie began wrapping itself up very carefully, remarking, "I really must be getting home. The night air doesn't suit my throat." And a canary called out in a trembling voice to its children, "Come away, my dears, it's high time you were all in bed." On various pretexts, they all moved off, and Alice was soon left alone. "I wish I hadn't mentioned Dinah," she said to herself in a melancholy tone. "Nobody seems to like her down here, and I'm sure she's the best cat in the world. Oh, my dear Dinah, I wonder if I shall ever see you any more." And here poor Alice began to cry again, for she felt very lonely and low-spirited. In a little while, however, she again heard a little pattering of footsteps in the distance, and she looked up, half hoping that the mouse had changed his mind and was coming back to finish his story. And that concludes Chapter 3. Whew, the wind is picking up outside, isn't it? It's so nice to be cuddled up in here. I've actually written several songs about the virtue of cuddling up nice and warm. In fact, I confess I actually wrote an entire album about it. In my opinion, you can never feel too cozy. Would you like me to play it for you? Do you feel like feeling cozier? Okay, here we go. When your umbrella is turned inside out by the uncivil wintry wind, there's no need to fuss, no need to pout. The solution is just to stay in and snuggle up so close to me, baby. I haven't a thing planned for the day. Come snuggle up so close to me, baby. We can come out again in May. The weather girl says it might even be storming. We ought to stay here and do things that are warming. Come snuggle up so close to me, babe. Let's hibernate. I kind of like the thought you're an ice cream cone that I have yet to lick. I like the thought that you're an apple that I have yet to pick. But though I'm loving all this sweet anticipation, I'm ready for you to exceed my expectations. You're like the first day that I got my favorite blankie, or like the first time Bonnie and Clyde held up a bank. He said, though I'm enjoying all this sweet anticipation, I'm ready for you to exceed my expectations. And there's a line of thought says Christmas Eve's much better than Christmas Day. It's so much better before all the secrets are given away. But though I'm all for the night before and stockings yet unscented, I'm ready to be the girl you take for granted. And there's a line of thought says coffee smells much better than the taste. And the way they talk, you think the rest of the cup just goes to waste. But though I'm all for lighting coffee-scented candles, should I choose to, I'm ready to be the girl that you could use to. You're like a brand new pair of jeans yet to be worn in. But you know the best jeans are the jeans that look like the jeans that you were born in. Though I'm loving all this sweet anticipation, I'm ready for you to exceed my expectations. Come on, exceed my expectations. I found a poem the other day, and it sums up that cozy feeling, and it's quite funny too. It's by Joseph Ashby-Sterry, and it's called In My Easy Chair. Do you know it? Here, I'll read it for you. "'Tis simply detestable weather. At home I'm determined to stay. A fortune I've spent in shoe leather and ruined 3 hats every day. Umbrellas I've borrowed and broken and angered their owners, no doubt. These things I consider a token 'tis not the least use to go out. But let the weather be foul or fair, I'll sit and smile in my easy chair. The morning's uncertain and hazy, I can't be quite sure of the time. I'm feeling exhausted and lazy, not equal to reason or rhyme. While streets still are muddy and sloppy, while bitter the easterly breeze, I'll maunder and nod like a poppy, and take 40 winks at mine ease. My dreams are pleasant, so I don't care. I'll sit and snooze in my easy chair. Within it is snug and quiescent, without it persistently pours. My chair is well cushioned and pleasant, though life's full of angles and bores. My room is deliciously torrid, by frost or by rain I'm unvexed. The world is decidedly horrid, so call me the month after next. The world may roll and may tear its hair, I'll roll and laugh in my easy chair." Well, I know you need to go on your way, and fortunately it's looking a little less dreary outside. Here is your warm coat and boots. Please try to stay warm. And here's a cinnamon roll wrapped up in wax paper for your trip home. Thank you so much for coming by. You know you're always welcome here at Lantana Cottage. Love you. See you soon.